Friday, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Fix all this real quick. Okay. All right, y'all. It is Friday, August the 25th, 2023. It is day 95 of year 5, and the consecutive day count is 1,475. That is 4 5s. August the 25th, day 95, year 5, and day of the 5-year consecutive day count, 1475. 5 5 5 5. Been seeing 5 5 for the last 2 days. I've been seeing the 5s, right? Listen, hold on, let's see. 5, I think. Let me just look it up real quick. Since I said it, but while I was writing this, I was like, oh my gosh, I keep seeing these 5s, right? Hold on, I'm gonna go to my little notes. Let's see what the 5s. I wrote this down a while ago when I kept seeing the sequences of it. And I realized that a lot of time the unseen realm is trying to communicate something to you. And a lot of time it gets our attention when we see repeating numbers. So I started taking, okay, so scroll to the 5s. 5. 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 5. Except anything with the denomination of 5. Look, and it's 15 people. I looked up and it's 15 people. Anything with 5, it says, change is coming. Keep looking for your sign of change and ask for grace and wisdom to make your change. Change is coming. 5s. 5 5 5 change. I hope it's a good change, right? So, Father, give me the grace and wisdom to notice and to flow smoothly with it. All right, beautiful people. Let's see who here. I didn't even tell y'all what we're reading, but I'm going to see who here before I do all that. Grace and righteous. Shalom, shalom. Avia, greetings, sis. Elijah, peace and blessings, beloved family. BC, Brandon, Carter. Peace, family. Jamia, hey, girl, hey. Kings and Queens Coaching Group. Shalom, shalom. Mom, hey, girl, hey. Shalom, shalom. Zachary, Yahoo, creator only. Yes. What's going on, fam? Shalom. And everybody else here already hanging out in our background. Happy Friday. All right, y'all. Okay, so today we're going to read the next chapter in Owaspi, which is the book of Fragapati, chapter 10. And then once we get done there, we're going to hop on over here to the Secret Nazarite Scroll, also affectionately known by us and a few other people who love the Creator as the Secret Nazarite Scroll. And we're going to start this next chapter, chapter 40. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. We read it yesterday. Not 40, 41. 41. The Apostle Paul, right? And he started his shenanigans here. So let's get to it real quick. Father, we thank you that your majesty knows no bounds. Michael Brown, Mississippi in the classroom, MISSISSIPPI. Fritz, what's going on? What's going on, fam? That's how I learned how to spell Mississippi. Probably all of us did in school. Had to make a song out of it. I'm like, how did MISSISSI? No, it's a lot of S's. I was so grateful to learn that song. MISSISSIPPI. Or MI crooked letter, if y'all know that version of it. All right, y'all. Hold on. Let me get my book up here. I'm being silly. Okay, so chapter 10 in the WASPy is page 171 at the top. Remember, the top part is for the heavenly account and the bottom part is for the earthly account, which most versions in religion give you. They never really touch on what happens simultaneously in the heavenly account. So what happens there, then what happens there first, then plays out down here as above, so below. All right, y'all. Chapter 10. When they came to Uzzah, Joab cried out, "What do my eyes behold? As I live, here are my people who once belonged to Zeredho, mine own heaven. By what strange law left they my kingdom to come and dwell in these torments?" So boom, quick recap. So remember, Fragapati and his crew came back. They told Joab that, listen, bro, look, you really not the best, most perfect heaven. And I'm gonna be back in a little while. And if you want to come with me, y'all can roll. But I'm gonna go get some stuff together and I'll be back. Think about this, right? He was like, bro, we good. We good. Everything is perfect here. We don't even need to see anything over there, right? So Fraggle Patty Boom left, got everything ready. We got to go over here and show out, let them really know, because these ninjas over here in their best, most perfect heaven, they dwindling down in intelligence, and they think it is it. People ain't even getting dressed no more, right? So he come back in all this majesty and splendor, and they throwing out roses from the ship and stuff and beautiful perfume. Was like, oh my God, what is that? Jenny, get your clothes on, girl. Hold on, we got visitors. Right? So they put on some clothes. Make a long story short, Hoab said, all right, listen, we know ain't no other place, but we need to get out of here for just a little bit. Even though we got everything is perfect here, we don't mind taking little field trips. We'll humor you, Fraggle Patty. Let's go. Everybody get your clothes on. John, what'd I tell you? No, let's go. We can, no, let's go. Put on your clothes, let's go. Right? Everybody load up in the ship, and they're awestruck at all the magnificence that they see from Fraggle Patty and his crew. Like, wait, we thought we had the most best perfect heaven, but how did y'all even create this stuff, right? Fraggle Patty said, all right, we got everybody, and everybody decided to go. Not one naked person stayed behind in Hoab's kingdom, right? We all going on a field trip. Hold on. Oh, all right, my pants. All right, I'm ready. Let's go, right? All the naked people got dressed. They're on the ship. They said, we ready, boss, so let's roll. First place Fraggle Patty took them was hell. They went to the worst place they could possibly go to first so that they could see, right? So he trying to wake Hoab up, like, listen, bro, y'all descending down in intelligence as the days roll by. And then your people leave and you don't even notice they gone. And you don't even go after them. You don't even wonder about them. Like, hey, what happened to Bob? Oh, he decided, okay, fine. And you don't give a second thought to him. But Bob ended up here, right? Because when he got super bored over there, didn't have anything else to do, you know, his everything, his spirit, everything got the best of him. And he said, you know, there has to be something else. So let's roll. And they got stuck here. So we want to show you your people who have left you, whom you did not care to even go seek out. They're in hell, buddy. You know, that's a little bit exaggeration, but from what I'm reading, this is what it is. So listen, hold on. Matter of fact, let me go back. Let me read the last two verses from the previous chapter, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna start chapter 10 again, right? Okay. Hoab, and this is just when Fraggle Patty got back, right? And he was like, boom, all right, we ready. Hoab said, fairest of gods, I feared indeed thou hast come with the old story. This was after all the pomp and splendor and everything. He said, all right, let's roll. I want to show y'all something. And he started giving praises to the creator. Hoab said, wait a minute. See, you know, I knew you was trying to take us back to church, bro. And this is where this picks up at verse 20. Hoab said, fairest of gods, I feared indeed thou hast come with the old story to worship the all light. I'm talking about the great creator, called him the all light, the unknowable nothingness. And as they sit in their perfect, most best world, they began to lose sight of who the creator is, and they call him absolute nothingness, right? And he is so far from that. Hoab said, fairest of gods, I feared. Indeed, thou hast come with the old story to worship the all light, the unknowable nothingness, with foolish ceremonies and rites and prayers and songs of praise, which, however good for the ignorant and superstitious, are worthless to a God as enlightened as I am. This thou perceivest with thine own judgment. Gladly I'll go with thee, and I will persuade as many of my people as possible to go also. Because we need a field trip. We're going to humor you, Fraggle Patty. Come on, y'all, get dressed. Let's go, right? Gladly, I will go with thee, and I will persuade as many of my people as possible to go also. Thou art the first God that ever came to our heaven, that wanted not to circumscribe our liberties, which neither I nor my people can tolerate. These things were then communicated to the people of Zeredho, and after a few days, they gathered together and went into the Avalanza, every soul of them, everybody, no naked person left behind. Fraggle Patty signaled the commander not to go direct to Harati, but by way of Utsa, one of the hills in the Oasu Mountains, inhabited by thousands of millions of spirits in darkness, many of whom knew not who they were, nor had they names, being infants, idiots, and chaotic and foul smelling, right? So they got all dressed up nice and pretty. And the first place you're taking us is hell. Why? Because you belong here. Listen, chapter 10. When they came to Uzzah, Joab cried out, "What do my eyes behold? As I live, here are my people who once belonged to Zeredho, mine own heaven. By what strange law left they my kingdom to come and dwell in these torments?" Fragapati caused the avalanche to halt, that information be obtained. So he called the Druhas, and there came thousands of them, ragged and drunken. Joab knew many of them, and he said, "Know ye who I am?" And they answered, "Yea, Joab, God of Zeredho, the perfect, most best heaven." We've been there. Again spake Joab, saying, "For what reason left ye my glorious kingdom to come and dwell in this hell of iniquity?" They answered, saying, "Alas, that we left indeed. But since it is so, it is so." They're like, "Bro, it is what it is. Don't come looking for us now. Why are you even here? You staying? Because we got space." They answered, saying, "Alas, that we left indeed. But since it is so, it is so. Hear us then, O Joab. This is the reason. Even as mortals oft leave purity in order to hold on. Hear us then, O Joab. This is the reason. Even as mortals oft leave purity in order to revel in sin, more reason we know not. Then spake Fragapati, saying, "Jehovah saith, I have given man many talents. Because the roadways are not open for their growth, he plungeth into darkness." Like, you got to give them space to grow. Like, just like kids, if you keep them cooped up in the house, especially smaller kids, even as they grow, you can't always be like, "Sit down." That's some of the best advice my father-in-law, my husband's father, said when, well, shucks, the kids are still real small, but they're not tiny where they running amok all the time now. He said, "Put them boys," this was before Bella was born, "put them boys outside and let them burn off their energy. Y'all can't make them sit down all the time." He said, "They're gonna run you crazy." I'm like, you know what, you got a point. And at that point, that's when we always started going places outside, riding our bikes together. And they come in the house and they the best, most perfect children in the world. Like, seriously. I'm like, who would have knew? Listen, verse 4. Then Fragapati spake, saying, "Jehovah saith, I have given man many talents. Because the roadways are not open for their growth, he plungeth into darkness." I like that. That's just good every time I read it. You're not giving them any options here, right? Because the roadways are not open for their growth, he plungeth into darkness. Think not that ye can draw a line and say, "O man, thou shalt not do this, or thou shalt not do thus. For ye are powerless to hold him whom I've created to go forward." Pull out a different color highlighter, right? That's why his best, most perfect heaven, after a while, started sending people down a spiral to hell, right? We got to leave here. We can't go up still. We got to stay here. You say we can go back, but we can't go up. You don't even know the way up. So we got to go. We're going to try and find a way up by going back, right? And they end up in hell and they get stuck, right? Look, that's so good. And that still holds true today, forever, and always. John Israel, shalom. Revelation 7, the sealing don't obey what I say according to the Bible. They need to die. They want to control my mind repeatedly, making me forget like I have amnesia. I don't sleep right. Well, maybe we can help. Maybe we can help to awaken you, and then awaken you so that you can sleep peacefully. John, Just Me said, "Creator bless you all." What's going on, fam? This just makes me think that when evil looks righteous, it can easily fool corporans or those here in the flesh, right? We desperately need to know the Creator and his ways. Amen. One love, rolling with the Creator. Bronze Yogi, peace to the chat. He said, "What's going on, fam?" All right. Dreadful Cosmo, peace, love, and light. Tabitha, I didn't see you come in, sis. Hey, girl. Hey, top of the day, family. Create a blessing of health and shalom. All right, y'all. All right, listen. I'll go back and read verse 4 again. Then spake Fragapati, saying, "Jehovah saith, I have given man many talents. Because the roadways are not open for their growth, he plungeth into darkness. Think not that you can draw a line and say, O man, thou shalt not do this, or thou shalt not do thus, for you are powerless to hold him whom I've created to go forward. And that's why a lot of us, we left out of the church. Those of us that just got fed up with all the shenanigans and stuff is like, we can't, yeah, Jamia, we can't go forward. It's like you constantly teaching us elementary things. How do we grow? Like, can we go up? Do you know the way up? And so we get stuck. Then we began to descend. We sitting there twiddling our thumbs. We start messing with other people. You think about kids who get bored in the classroom. A lot of times it's not because, well, sometimes it is because they don't know what's going on because they ain't paying attention. But sometimes they're way above the level and you're not giving them any space to grow. You're trying to hold them here with everybody else when you should make space for them to grow. And if you can't teach them, if you don't know the way up, you should point them in the direction of a teacher who can, right? That way they can break out of this religious bondage. They can move up to the level that they need to be at so they can continue growing in a healthy way, right? That's what happens when you get in church. The ceiling is put over your head. And you can't go any higher than the person who's in the pulpit, the person who's teaching you in the congregation, right? A lot of us, when we get to that point, we start asking questions. They get frustrated with us. We get frustrated with them. Now you a troublemaker and you rebelling. Don't nobody talk to Sister Pam. She done went off. Like, bro, no, I haven't. I just want to know why. Can you tell me? Do you know somebody that know? And so then with me, I just, you know what, man, forget this. Father, it's just me and you. Okay, listen, they ain't giving me no answers here. I'm here. They supposed to. And then the Creator starts speaking. When you go to Creator, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, right? When we go to him directly, it's like, listen, I ain't getting answers. Some ain't right. I know it's more to life than this, right? And then the Creator starts waking you up more and more, and your eyes begin to see things that you weren't able to see when you was blinded by the whatever it was you was locked into. But you have to disconnect yourself for a period of time in order for all of that spell dousing that's being poured upon you to just kind of fall away, and you can see and you can actually wake up, right? So we pull away and then we wake up. Some pull away and they end up where some of his people did, like out there, and they go from bad to worse. We go from bad, like, listen, this has to be better than this. And we trying to find our way. And we end up here, like, listen, we got to put everything on the table because some of the crap they've been teaching us is complete garbage. And I'm about to burn it. I'm going to see y'all. I want y'all to see me set this on fire right here. Listen, so you can't hold man back from growth. You can't hold children back from growth. They will rebel because we were designed to continue growing perpetually, not just physically. Nobody can stop the physical growth unless something medical happens. And even if something medical happens, the body will still grow. You literally have to kill the body to stump the growth or begin to cut off pieces because it's going to grow. That's the law that we were created within. And the body is going to act as such, right? The spirit is the same way, but it's in a, it'll grow, but how can I put this? The spirit was designed to be the same way, but you can actually stun it and not be able to see it. So it's the same thing, but people think they're okay because you can't see it growing like the body. We can look at people like, oh yeah, you're old and mature, 40 years old, but you're a 40-year-old, 12-year-old. Like you stopped growing at 12 years old, but you fool everybody because we can see your body. We can't see your spirit. Right? We only know that when your body opens its mouth to speak. Now we know how intelligent your spirit is or how far you've developed your spirit. And there are a lot of spiritual midgets sitting in all these religious congregations all over the world. I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, wherever, right? The body can fool us by what we can see in this realm. But those who are able to tap into the spiritual realm and just learn how to listen real good, when you open your mouth, you tell the truth about who you really are. Listen, verse 4 again. Then Fragapati spake, saying, Jehovah said, I have given man many talents, because the roadways are not open for their growth. He plungeth into darkness. Think not that ye can draw a line and say, O man, thou shalt not do this, or thou shalt not do thus. For they are powerless to hold him whom I've created to go forward. And if he find not a way to go forward, he will turn and go backward, right? And I know we read that a while ago, but I didn't even look ahead to see this part. But that's exactly what we just said, right? He will go backward. There's no way out that way. We're going to figure it out. We're just going to go backtrack a little bit. Verse 5, the Druhas said, yea, master. Druhas, just in case you're new, Druhas is like what Christians will call demons, right? But it's not like these little imps, what Christians teach you. They're actually nothing more than what we are. They are humans who have fully been born into spirit, or what we call death here. They've died and they're fully born spirit now. And they haven't continued to grow. So they decline and go backward, and they begin to lose intelligence. They become of the darker nature. The spirit gets darkened. They're dense, and they hover around this realm, and they just make trouble. That's what happens. The Druha said, yea, master, Zeredho did not fill our, listen, Zeredho did not fill our souls. We were thirsty for amusement and lightheartedness. We heard no voice but utility. We sheared off all ornament and diversion and art, and finally, even music. We fain we would hear from Zeredho to know if they have not ceased to talk, or perhaps to live, because forsooth, utility has spoken. And they laughed and frolicked about like idiots and fools. It's like, listen, we couldn't get nothing there. They weren't doing anything but just sitting around being perfect all day. So we came back here to have a little fun. You know, they even cut out the music. We couldn't even listen to music anymore. Like, who wants to live without music? That's why I got music playing in the background, right? Music is alive. So we came back here, they partying and whatnot. You know, we see the women like, oh, sis, hey, you know how long I've been in the best, most perfect? I'm coming home with you tonight. Listen, they done got drunk and everything. So some of them, they don't pass that stage. They get stuck there instead of putting blinders on. Oh my God, oh, you naked here too? Oh Lord. So instead of putting blinders on their eyes and hair up and passing through that stage and getting to where, okay, I can breathe. Okay, all right, Father, now I'm here. Help me. Listen. The Druha said, yea, master, Zeredho did not fill our souls. We were thirsty for amusement and lightheartedness. We heard no voice but utility. We sheared off all ornament and diversion and art, and finally even music, just like when you come out of Christianity. I know I keep breaking in, but all this stuff keep coming to mind. When you come out of there, those holidays are pagan. We don't want to do that. And if you're coming out of Christianity right into the Hebrew roots movement, learn about your Hebrew roots. Yeah, sister, throwing on your garments and stuff and trying to speak Hebrew, bro. They all speak English. Don't do that. Do that in your private study time. It ain't gonna make no sense to them. You just gonna look like you're trying to be more than what you're not, and you ain't even pronouncing the words right, right? So it's like, oh, we don't do that anymore. That's pagan. They're worshiping Satan, not realizing you've just changed your clothes, trying to speak a different language, but you're still doing the same exact thing because you are of the Aaronite Jews. And especially if you follow on the Torah. Torah was my thing, right? I'm like, oh my God. But then you get in there and you keep going days and days and months and years and adjusting to the feast days and all of these things. Okay, what is it after this? Okay, it seems like although we're not using Christian terminology and words and talk all this stuff, it still seems like the same type of bondage is creeping up upon us. And you can't do this and you can't do that and don't do this or you're gonna go to hell. But you just don't call it hell here. Like you're gonna be what is it? You're gonna be banished from the camp. You're gonna be cut off from your people, from God's people, or from Yahweh's people. I'm like, what? This is sounding a lot Christian-like to me, right? So they start doing those things, adding more rules and stuff upon you, and then you get those people, and you find out they start doing the same thing to women. They're doing Christianity. Can't talk. You on your cycle, sis? Don't speak. Women can't talk when they're on their cycle. You know, I recently found that. I'm like, what? Oh my God, we've been going live for 5 years. I ain't took no breaks except for the 7. I'm like, that is the dumbest rule ever, right? And so I make jokes about everything. I piss people off because I don't know. They're the best, most perfect world. And I don't know. I'm just like, you know what, Father? This is probably why I got a whole bunch of tiny kids, because being with them all day, they cracking jokes and doing funny stuff is just, my spirit is in a childlike manner in this season, which it absolutely has to be able to grow, to break off all religious bondages, right? So you get over here and realize you're doing the same thing in Christianity and you become bound again. And I think y'all could see that a couple years ago, and it was right around Passover time. And I'm like, you know what? See, we running through the house trying to pull out all this stuff, the yeast out the house, and oh my gosh, we ate that. We didn't realize that, hey, the whole feast day is thrown off, and we didn't see, and we got to wait till next year to fix it. And I'm like, and one day I could hear the creator just as clear, girl, what are you doing? I'm trying to get the feast days. What do you mean what I'm doing? Did you? No, I didn't. I'm like, what do you mean? I had these moments, and where I realized, wait a minute, these are rules and things that man have put upon us, right? Which drives us to frustration, right? And so I began to realize these things over years. I'm like, you know what? You have made us to be free, and you whatever you like. You want to try it? Sure, go ahead. But remember, everything has an equal and opposite reaction. Everything has rewards or consequences. Think about it before you choose to, he said, but I've given you the choice. You can use your own judgment. That's how I've created man, to grow and to learn from their mistakes. I'm like, okay, right? So you run into all these things like, oh my gosh, everybody trying to hold me down. Nope. You're allowing them to do that to you when I've created you to be free in all areas, right? Listen. Verse 5, page 171 at the top. The Druha said, yea, master, Zeredho did not fill our soul. We were thirsty for amusement and lightheartedness. We heard no voice but utility. This is what you have to do, the voice of utility. Order, 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 order. Not that you shouldn't have order, but you can only do this. Nope, you can't go outside of this. Stay in between the lines, right? We wouldn't have abstract artists and those that bring all the colorful and the flavor if they stayed in between the lines, right? That's good in the beginning stages when you're learning to learn personal discipline, right? But as you grow older, I'm not going to tell you, no, you can't cook. Like, quit bugging me. You're 17 years old. Get in the kitchen and go cook. To whereas when you was younger, 3, girl, no, you can't cook. No, you're too young, right? That's only for a period of time. Stay in between the lines. Now you have free range. Go in and out the line, learn about the line, erase the line, draw another line, make the line longer, right? It's time for you. You're in another stage of life now, right? Listen. We were thirsty for amusement and lightheartedness. We heard no voice but utility. We sheared off all ornament and diversion and art, and finally, even music. We fain we would hear from Zeredho to know if they have not ceased to talk, or perhaps to live, because forsooth utility hath spoken. And they laughed and frolicked about like idiots and fools, mingling with harlots and thieves and liars and drunkards. Fragapati caused the ship to move on a while and then halted and called other Druhas and questioned them in the same manner and received the answers of the same character. And these are people that have left the best, most perfect heaven, all right? Verse 8. And again, they moved onward, and the same was repeated. Finally, they came to a place where all was darkness and noise and confusion, where they had even heeded not the ship, nor the calls made to them. Then spake Fragapati to Hoab, saying, hath it been proven to thee that man cannot stand still? Oh, I underlined it, but let me highlight it in yellow. Listen, it would do us well to remember this. This is why when you're not doing anything, you become frustrated. When man can't work and you're not doing anything to make yourself industrious, you start getting in trouble, right? You have to be doing something to be developing yourself in some manner. Otherwise, you get frustrated with yourself. You get frustrated with other people. Your life start going wrong. You can't see the good in anything. Things go from bad to worse, right? Then Fragapati spake to Hoab, saying, hath it been proven to thee that man cannot stand still? Hoab said, it is true. This matter cometh close home to me. Or this is hitting home. I perceive now that had I not come out of Zeredho, I had not witnessed these things, nor had I seen Zeredho as I now see it. Fragapati said, be not hasty against thine own philosophy, for I will show thee thine own wisdom by and by. So they traveled 7 days in hell, the lowest division of Hada, where there was neither government, nor order, nor truth, nor virtue, but torments and wailings and cursings. Fragapati said, thou hast seen that these many people know not their own darkness. Joab said, it is not true, O chief, that no man... Oh, we ain't gonna look. I got 5 minutes left. We ain't gonna get to Apostle Paul shenanigans because we're gonna have to stop. Ah, man, I didn't realize I was gonna be doing all this with this chapter today either. Okay, listen. Verse 9, Fragapati said, be not hasty against thine own philosophy, for I will show thee thine own wisdom by and by. So they traveled 7 days in hell, the lowest division of Hada, where there was neither government, nor order, nor truth, nor virtue, but torments and wailings and cursings. Fragapati said, thou hast seen that these many people know not their own darkness. Joab said, is it not true, O chief, that no man knoweth his own darkness? Who then is safe? Who knoweth he is not on the downward road? Who knoweth he is not on the downward road? Like, who don't know they're going backwards, right? Fragapati said, thou hast said man is the all highest, but doth it not come home to us all, as to the ancients, that to do good with all our wisdom and strength, and have faith therein, that we are on the road to the all highest? Certainly thou hast proven, said Joab, that the red hole is not the all highest, the best, most perfect place. That's the red hole where it was all living, them and all their nakedness and no more music, right? Certainly, and Joab was the king of that particular kingdom. Certainly thou hast proven, says Joab, that the red hole is not the all highest, for it cannot retain its people. Even hell hath prevailed over her. Ouch. Right? These people rather go to hell. Like, I'll meet you in hell, buddy. Right? Like, people play like that. They have no more fear of hell whatsoever. You going to hell? Well, I'll see you when I get there. Right? Making all these hell jokes and stuff. And I be laughing. I'm like, y'all are hilarious. I'm gonna write that down. I'm how to use that. Listen. Certainly thou hast proven, said Joab, that the red hole is not the all highest, for it cannot retain its people. Even hell hath prevailed over her. And doth not hell prevail over all self-righteousness, and over riches and kingdoms and empires? If therefore hell prevaileth, is not hell the most powerful? And if the most powerful is not hell, therefore, hold on. Let me go back. I'm getting tongue-tied. Okay. If therefore hell prevaileth, is not hell the most powerful? And if the most powerful is not hell, therefore the all highest. The ancients were happy in ignorance, for in believing in an all person, or the great creator, for believing in an all person, a creator, and that they should ultimately see him, they had an object in view. But with the growth of wisdom, we find we cannot realize such a person, and so have no object in view ahead of us. Thereupon we recoil upon ourselves, and all is dead. So some people do find themselves getting at this point when they come out of religion. They was like, well, what's the point? And some people that, you know what, that there is no creator. I am God. We are the best, most highest, right? And you can see it all around, right? And I can understand how they got there, because I waded in those waters for a period of time. I'm like, that's right. We are God. And that's not necessarily a lie, right? Because we are spirit of the creator, spirit, a portion of our creator he has put in us. Matter of fact, that's what we are. We are spirits. And for a period of time, our spirits are encapsulated in the womb of this flesh that we can grow. This is literally, the earth is literally elementary school for the spirits who come out from the creator, right? Just like the baby has to go through. Matter of fact, you can go all the way back to the sperm in the loins of the father before he passes you off to your mother, right? You got to develop. You have to beat out so many other millions and billions of sperm just to make it through, right? So there's stress and pressures that are put upon the seed in order for the seed to grow. The creator has put this in every area of life. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't win for losing. Like, bro, you have to change your perception. You're looking at it in the wrong way. Well, what we gonna do? The Illuminati is controlling everything. Well, even if I know some people don't vote, but it is what it is. The same thing there, right? Well, what we voting for? They just going to change everything. Your perception about life is wrong here, right? You have to look at the glass as being half full instead of half empty, because however your perception is, you will begin to create your world, and you will begin to have self-fulfilling prophecies. Those are the laws that have been enacted upon this plane, this earth, where we live. If you think wrong, everything is going to go wrong, because you start this cycle, like I said, of self-fulfilling prophecies. And even when people manufacture prophecies, even in Israel or wherever, or those in government, all of this, that begins to happen, or they're holding us down because of this or because of my skin color. And sometimes a lot of those things are true, but they're not the highest, most best wisdom. You have the opportunity, you have been given the freedom from the creator to be able to lift yourself levels above the current the current going status quo, right? Because let's just use this, right? I'm Black, and it's a kind of touchy subject, but I want to just show you something. I'm Black, right? There are a lot of stereotypes out there against people of color, not just us, but because I'm Black, I'm gonna just use my experience, right? So they have these stereotypes. Let's use Alabama, right? Alabama was a wake-up call, not what happened with the chair and all this stuff, but we're talking about Aquaman, who jumped in the water and he swam. That boy was Black. Black people can swim. Yeah, we can swim. We took lessons, right? Most people, they never use the opportunities, the instruments, everything that is available to them to cause them to develop and grow, right? That baby, maybe his mom, when he was early on in his growth, she or he, his father, paid for swimming lessons. Or maybe he got at the age when he became a teenager and he saw everybody else playing in the water, not just hanging along the side. Hold on, don't splash. No, don't put me under the water. I can't swim. He was tired of doing all that. Hey, do y'all give swim lessons? He did something, or somebody did something to take him from that level of infancy, or maybe that wasn't the best word, from this level of ignorance to now a level of proficiency, because we got some swim lessons in and we practice, right? And now I can swim. So yeah, I'm jumping off the ship. They won't move the boat, get over there, help my co-captain, right? Because ain't nobody helping him. So he jumps off, swims over there, right? You have people, well, Black people can't do math, but we have in history where there are great inventors and things that were built, and these were people of color. Even if we go in and read the stories in the Bible, the Hebrew slaves, weren't they Black? They was all ninjas, right? But they built these, according to this, they built these great structures. Somebody had to understand something. They had to understand math, right? But we forget all these things that are in front of our face, and somebody just throw something out of here. That's right, we can't do that because of this. Well, first of all, I've learned to test everything, right? And what you're saying, it may be true for the majority, but it is not true about me, even though I make a lot of math jokes and stuff about, oh my God, these word problems. But all it takes is a little discipline and study. Practice and study equals perfection, right? And then you can raise yourself above the status quo. Black people live in the hood where you live at. People get shot. Your mom and daddy on drugs, and you a crack baby, right? No, my parents decided. They made a choice, right? And because the choices they made, I looked at them. I'm gonna make the best choices. They could have been like, oh well, we ain't got nothing available to us. We can't buy a house. We can't do none of this. Black people got bad credit. It may have been true for a little bit of time, but I'm tired of hanging on to the side. Don't dunk me under the water because I can't swim. We was sick of that crap, right? But nobody was holding us back but ourselves. We chose to begin to look at our credit scores. Man, yeah, we need to pay our bills on time. This is why we're losing these points and we can't get a house. It took us a while to pull ourselves out the hole. And for a period of time, we stayed in the ghetto. Like, bro, don't come past here. They shooting. Everybody house get down. Like, oh my God, I don't want to live life like this. But a lot of people, they get scared. And it's like, well, it is what it is. There ain't no other way. Yes, there is a way, right? We like that sperm. We fighting. We breaking free. We ain't staying here in a sack no more with all you ninjas. We out. We going to a different world. And therefore, the Father passes you into the womb of your mother. Now you're in a different world. And you got a different set of pressures that began to happen with you, right? Now you got to form bones out of everything that your mom has inside of her. But you come just a sperm. But everything within that seed has everything it needs to become a powerful giant, right? You just have to learn how to adapt, not adapt, but adapt and grow and break through the pressures that are enacted upon you. Just like a seed, right? We get seeds that we put in the ground. We want food. We got this little apple seed. This little one tiny apple seed can produce a harvest of apples that can be eaten for many generations by many generations of people. But it's going to take time, right? We have to put it away in darkness when nobody can see. It has to learn how to get strong, right? And a lot of people, when they're down in the darkness or things not going right, they can't see up from down. They're in that phase of life. They have to learn how to break through the pressures, all the talk everybody else is doing, the isolating, stay away from them. You have to learn how to deal with the pressures effectively in order to break through all the dirt and begin to have your head pop up and begin to see the sun. And then you begin to grow and your roots are strengthened. While you're underground, you're developing your root system, because if you're going to be strong when you get up here, because you thought this was something down here in the dirt, wait till you put your head up above the dirt. Now you got wild animals, you got insects and stuff. A human might think you pretty and come pluck you up, and then you're going to die premature death, right? If you think you having trouble here, wait till you go to the next level, right? A different devil for a different level, whatever you want to call it. But we have to learn how to work our way through the pressures of every level, right? And people look at it like another level, another devil. No, another level, a new opportunity for growth and to get better, right? And that's how you have to look at it. That's how you look at the glass as half full, not half empty. And everything, oh my God, is going wrong. I can't do this. Somebody that's looking at the glass half full is like, okay, why is this happening? And although I know you're saying that this is failing now, how can I turn this failure into a winner? Okay, let's just look at every aspect of this. There is the whole formula wrong? Because if the whole formula is wrong, we need to change the entire formula. Or am I just getting a portion of this formula wrong and I need to fix this, right? Life is one big math problem. And a lot of us are not seeing it because we can't get past the addition and subtraction, right? You can't get past addition and subtraction. Oh my God, don't even get into multiplication, right? Multiplication is addition. How you say it? My nephew said, I'm like, I never thought about that. He said, addition with subtraction is nothing but addition backwards, and multiplication is addition this. I'm like, well, you doggone it, you're right. I wish somebody would have taught me that when I was in school. I wouldn't have been like, I ain't doing no math. I'm skipping. I'm cheating. What was your answer? Right? You just need the right teachers to teach you about things that you're learning about. Everybody can't learn from everybody, and that's okay. Find your teacher, right? But every level, you have to learn how to adapt and overcome, right? Once you get to that level and you get to the most best perfect heaven at that level, it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to move out of class, even if everybody else doesn't go with you, right? Don't stop your growth because other people refuse to grow, or they can't even see that they're in a growth cycle yet. You continue to grow on. Otherwise, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to end up becoming the class clown. Johnny, you're 14 years old. Why are you still sitting in my first grade class? People walk in, first of all, people don't know that you're a student. When they walk in and see 14-year-old Johnny, they assume, because of what they can see, they assume, rightfully so, You must be the teacher's aide or the teacher's son here helping her. No, Johnny is a student. Like what? Now you the class clown. Everybody making fun of you. Why? Because you're out of place. They're not. You're out of place. You should have been grown, right? But you don't want to lose friendships. I like playing here. I like the toys. Oh my God, Barbie dolls, right? Don't be ignorant. Go ahead and grow. People come along when it's time for them to come along. If you're moving faster, then so be it. Learn how to move in your what word can I use? Learn. If you're a fast learner, adapt it whatever you have, like me, right? I can't sit in a regular class, which is why I'm always looking for things that are accelerated learning, speed learning. Anything else will drive me nuts. I'm gonna zone out. That's why I dropped out of college. Right when I first started many years ago, I couldn't take it. The teacher was talking so slow, the classes were moving too slow. And when I joined the military and started doing their classes and it was accelerated, I was like, oh my God, it's like y'all keeping me going. I always got something. I was like, because I move fast, my energy is always high. So I need to connect with that type of energy. Otherwise, it slows me down. I get lethargic and I'm pissed. I'm like, what are we even doing here? Like, why? Right. So even now with this, I was like, it needs to go to another level because it's like, I'm almost reaching this place and I'm getting frustrated, not because this is wrong, but because it needs to grow another level. So I'm like, okay, how do I do this now? So, but yeah, y'all. Oh my God. Let me finish this chapter. We didn't finish this chapter, but let me finish. But look, I did not think I was about to do all this today, but I'm just letting it flow, y'all. Okay. So let's go back here with where is that coming from? My niece's, hold on. Her phone is going off. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right, y'all. So, but yeah. Okay, let's go back. I know, right? It's good. Tabitha, have a great day. No, I'm sorry. You still here. You told Jasmine, right? Because Jasmine, he driving, going where? Okay, sorry. I read that wrong. Look, some Juhas got raised this morning, girlfriend. Look, I'm telling you. Look, I be teaching myself. Listen, okay, let's go back. Let's finish this chapter. It's only 18 verses, y'all. We just at we at verse 13. Okay, so let me just go back. I'm gonna go back to verse 8, and then we're gonna go all the way to 18. Then we're gonna darn it, we're gonna be out of here. Okay. I was trying to say darn it and dang it at the same time. I meant to say darn it. Okay. Verse 8. And we definitely not gonna get into the Holy Megillah today, y'all. So we're gonna pick up. Oh man, we're gonna be here tomorrow nor Sunday because the weekends is off. So Monday we'll get to Apostle Paul shenanigans. Okay, listen. Verse 8. Again, they moved onward, and the same was repeated. Remember, so they going from hell to hell, and they finding out why people are here and how they ended up here, right? But remember, just spoiler alert, nobody stays in hell forever. Just in case you're new and you're hearing us talk about this and you're coming from the Christian background, hell is not forever. This gives us some more, the WASP gives us some more in-depth teaching of what hell actually is, what demons are. And if you ever read anything in the apocryphal books, especially the book of Enoch, the book of Enoch chapter 15 goes into deep detail about who demons are and how I'm like, this is all lining up. So I recommend, if you're a Bible lover and you read your Bible, I would recommend picking up a copy of WASP and reading it along with it, right? Okay, verse 8. Again, they moved onward, and the same was repeated. Finally, they came to a place where all was darkness and noise and confusion, where they even heeded not the ship nor the calls made to them. Then spake Fragapati to Joab, saying, Hath it been proven to thee that man cannot stand still? Joab said, It is true. This matter cometh close home to me. I perceive now that had I not come out of the red hole, the best, most perfect heaven, right? Which was really not. It was all in their mind. I perceive now that had I not come out of the red hole, I had not witnessed these things, nor had I seen the red hole as I now see it. Now I'm looking at it as like glass half full. Like, what have we been doing there? Fragapati said, Be not hasty against thine own philosophy, for I will show thee thine own wisdom by and by. So they traveled 7 days in hell, the lowest division of Hada, where there was neither government nor order, nor truth, nor virtue, but torments and wailings and cursings. Fragapati said, Thou hast seen that these many people know not their own darkness. Joab said, is it not true, O chief, that no man knoweth his own darkness? Who then is safe? Who knoweth he is not on the downward road? Fragapati said, Thou hast said, Man is the all highest, but doth it not come home to us all, as to the ancients, that to do good with all our wisdom and strength, and have faith therein, that we are on the road to the all highest? Certainly thou hast proven, said Joab, that Zeredho is not the all highest, for it cannot retain its people. Even hell hath prevailed over her. And doth not hell prevail over all self-righteousness, and over riches and kingdoms and empires? If therefore hell prevaileth, is not hell the most powerful? And if the most powerful is not hell, therefore the all highest? The ancients were happy in ignorance, for in believing in an all person, a creator, and that they should ultimately see him, they had an object in view. But with the growth of wisdom, we find we cannot realize such a person, and so have no object in view ahead of us. Thereupon, we recoil upon ourselves, and all is dead. So when people lose sight of the creator and getting closer and closer to him, like this can't even be achieved, they stop growing and they backslide. They just go in the opposite direction because they fall into this mindset. What is it all for? Why are we even here? Right? Fragapati said, Hath man no lesson from the past? In the ancient times, the gods persuaded mortals to make stone idols and worship them, and they were sufficient until man attained more knowledge. Again came the gods to mortals, inventing a large man god in the sky, persuading them to worship him. He was a sufficient God till man learned to commune with angels, and the angels contradicted that philosophy. But hear me, O Joab, have we not a lesson in this, which is that we must ever have an all highest person so far ahead that we cannot attain him? If this be true, we have if this be true, when we have surpassed a person whose figure and condition we can comprehend, is it not incumbent upon us to create within our own souls the thought of an all person beyond our comprehensibility? He said, because at that point, when you come to the point where you can now perceive the creator in all his creativity, you need to start creating something higher. Right? Because otherwise you're going to get stunted in your growth and you're going to stop, because now, you reach the goal, right? But if you reach the goal, what do you do next? That's what they did in Zeredho. We made it to the most perfect, highest heaven. What do? We've reached the goal, and that's just like we see in the Bible. They reached it. Now the elders is casting crowns. Is we casting crowns forever? Forever, ever? We're going to do this forever. Casting crowns. Like nobody asked a question like, why we got to do this? My back hurt. I don't want to do this no more. Can't I just leave my crown at your foot? I'm getting up. I'll be back. Right? Nobody pays attention. Fragapati said, Hath man no lesson from the past? In the ancient times, the gods persuaded mortals to make stone idols and worship them, and they were sufficient until man attained more knowledge. Again came the gods to mortals, inventing a large man god in the sky, persuading them to worship him. He was a sufficient God till man learned to commune with angels, and the angels contradicted that philosophy. But hear me, O Joab, have we not a lesson in this, which is that we must ever have an all highest person so far ahead that we cannot attain him? If this be true, when we have surpassed a person whose figure and condition we can comprehend, is it not incumbent upon us to create within our own souls the thought of an all person beyond our comprehensibility? Joab said, It seemeth so. But how canst thou teach thy soul to think of an all person beyond man's comprehensibility? Fragapati said, For a basis to reason from, let us consider the Etherian, the Atmospherian, and the Corporean worlds to constitute his body. Okay, so the Etherian are the higher rays. Okay, so let's start low level. We're corporeans, corporality, right? We still have our flesh. Our spirits are still in tune in this flesh, in this level, right? Then when we pass from here, we become atmospheric. So now we're in the atmosphere of the earth and her heavens, right? And once we pass through there, those levels, nobody reaches etheria until you have literally come through all the grades successfully, just like in school. That's what earth is a school. Earth and her heavens are a school. We're to develop at every level. People think when you die, that's it, you sleep forever, dead, know nothing. Yes, they do. They're very much alive. A lot of them are caught here wreaking havoc, and you thinking they ghosts. But there are people who have lost their body and don't know they don't know up from down. They don't know how to keep going, right? Because they stopped teaching us a very long time ago, or it was hidden from the masses. And now you have religious structures in place that are just pacifying people, which is why you got a bunch of religious rebels sitting in the church, people doing as thou wilt in the pulpits, like all of this stuff, because you have stopped man from growing, right? And you've given him something to play with, to pacify him, right? This is why we got all this trouble in the churches, in the pulpits, in the government, everywhere. We got lifetime politicians sitting there, and this should not be your last stop. What are we doing, right? Joab said, it seemeth so. But how canst thou teach thy soul to think of an all person beyond man's comprehensibility? Fragapati said, for a basis to reason from, let us consider the Etherian, the atmosphere, and the corporal worlds to constitute his body, and the motion therein and thereof, the manifestations of his power and the wisdom. Since then we ourselves have these things in part, we find also we have another attribute embracing all others, which is combination concentrated into one person. We are a combination of all these people: the corporal, our flesh, the atmospherian, our spirit, as well as the ethereal. We can tap in to higher levels and get wisdom from higher than the earth and her heavens poured down into us, and we can begin to manifest literally heaven on earth, inventions and stuff. But you have to learn how to align your chakras and get in tune with the creator for that to happen. We are combined. We're 3 in 1. We are like the perfect combination here. We have everything that we need to grow perfectly through this realm, to work out every problem we may ever encounter, and then to leave out here, we should leave out of here with literally our cups empty. We have nothing else to pour out, but we've extracted all that we can from this realm. We've grown as far as we could possibly grow here. And once I pour out my last drop, I'm going to show y'all something. Guess what I learned how to do? And when we pass over, matter of fact, when we choose to lay down our bodies and move to the next level, because it's graduation time, we should have learned here how to manipulate all the elements like we have in science, the rain, all this stuff. We should know how all this stuff is created, be able to manipulate the elements. We should have become kings and queens of 7 before we leave here, right? Understanding all these things spiritually. So when we die, we take that knowledge with us, and we can then manifest the body, just like they show in the New Testament. They're giving you bits and pieces of what we can do, and it's been proven by science, and they're teaching it, right? But then they would make the people who are look at the glass half empty, like none of this can be done. There's conspiracy theory, they put all this stuff on it just to keep you out because you ain't ready, right? I'm gonna manifest the body. Listen, G, just like Jesus did. People, I'm about to go next level. I'll see y'all soon. But you gonna do greater things than I did. All right, homie, beat me up. And everybody watch Jesus go up. I'm like, what? Right. So there's some truth there. Some of the stories are made up, but there is some spiritual truths there, right? So same way, if you go through different ancient manuscripts, like we'll see with some of the people as we get further on through Owaspi, his name right on the tip of my tongue, Zarathustra, right? Some of Zarathustra's story was actually taken and entwined into the Bible And you will see, if you're familiar with Zarathustra's story, who was way more ancient than Jesus was, you would see how they borrow a lot of stuff from Zarathustra's life, right? I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's why I tell you, don't read nothing else but the Bible. They don't need nothing else. Bro, yeah, you do. That's how you in bondage. That's why you in the best, most perfect heaven now, right? And people is backsliding. All right, see y'all good people of the First Baptist Church of the Redeemed of Nothing. I'm headed out. I'll catch y'all in hell. Listen. But that's what it is, right? Look. Let me read these. Listen. I only had 18 scripts. I had one job to do today. 18 scriptures. That's it. Okay. Listen. Verse 16. We got 2 scriptures, but 16 is so long and there's so much good stuff in these scriptures. Listen. Verse 16. Fragapati said, for a basis to reason from, let us consider the Etherian, the atmospheric, and the corporal worlds to constitute his body, and the motion therein and thereof, the manifestations of his power and his wisdom. Since then we ourselves have these things in part, we find also we have another attribute embracing all others, which is combination concentrated into one person. Shall we not then give to him who embraceth all things within himself, combination concentrated into one person? Otherwise, he is our inferior, which cannot be. Therefore, being ourselves persons, are we not mere offshoots from the all person? Are we not spirit of his spirit? Are we not gods, right? If he is, well, God, we're not getting into the terms, but if he is the all highest, are we too? Are we not? Don't we have all the creative capability because we come from our daddy, right? Aren't we a part of our daddy? Can't we do the same things? Just not now, but we will in time to come as we grow and develop. Babies don't come out the womb knowing how to do everything. They have to grow and develop, which is why, yes, you are God, but you have to grow and develop, right? You're not a God now. You are God. Let me just take it back. You are God, but you don't know how to walk in your Godship yet. You don't even know that you're a spirit. You just think you're a human, right? And when you die, you just go to sleep forever. See, you got to grow. There's a bunch of levels you got to go through before you can actually walk in the reality of who you truly are. But you don't even know who you truly are just yet, right? Listen. Shall we not then give to him who embraceth all things within himself, combination concentrated into one person? Otherwise, he is our inferior, which cannot be. Therefore, being ourselves persons, are we not mere offshoots from the all person? Otherwise, we could not have, otherwise we could not have attained personality. Doth not a child take its personality because its mother was a person? Can man have an entity save he receive it from an entity? Could man be a person save he sprang from a person? Right? Hoab said, thou art a great light, O chief. Verily, thou hast unfolded a universe before me. Yea, there must be an all person. Oh, that I had seen this philosophy before. Last verse, verse 18. We made it, y'all. Fragapati said, be not infatuated, O Hoab, with sudden appearances, for where I show thee, Fragapati said, be not infatuated, O Hoab, with sudden appearances, for were I to show thee first what it is to believe in an all person, whose magnificence surpasseth the universe itself, and then that man can attain to be one with him, even as a note in music is one with a tune, I will so far enrapture thy soul that thou wouldest do naught but listen. Let us therefore suspend our research for a while, that we may devise some resurrection for this hell of suffering millions. He said, because if I start getting into this, you're going to sit here at my feet like Mary did to Jesus, and nothing going to get done. And Martha going to be out here. We got all these Marthas out here in the hell. Let's help them, right? Let's raise them up. And then we'll learn a little bit more. I'll unfold this a little bit more, right? So all we need in life is somebody to help us to unfold ourselves, but it has to be somebody from a higher wisdom, a higher level of spiritual understanding, who has walked through, not somebody that's trying to lord over you. Oh, I am an apostle. You better put some respect on my name and call me Apostle Pam. Like, heifer, I'm gonna put heifer before your name. Heifer. Get out my face, right? No humility. I ain't about to say I hate people like that, but I can tell who you truly are. I can tell who you truly. If I have to call you prophet, this ain't the place for me. Matter of fact, this ain't the place for none of y'all. And I advise y'all to pay attention and get out of here sooner than later. All right, y'all. Look, that's it for today. We can't even get into Peter shenanigans, although I so wanted to today. All right, but this happens every now and again, and I so enjoy it. Y'all the real MVPs for hanging out. Listen, if y'all gotta go to work, don't be hanging out here with me, getting y'all self in trouble with the man. But if you the man, you can make your own time. Do it. Matter of fact, that's one of the things. You can choose to be the man instead of being in bondage to the man's time. You got to be there to punch a clock. No disrespect to those that punch a clock, but I'm just using that. Me, because I move fast, my husband, we move fast, we always get fired from jobs. Like, oh my gosh, why? Because you know what? I ain't supposed to be working for nobody. We need our own business. And that's what we did. And this is where we thrive. This is where we flourish, because you need a little bit more responsibility to pull out the greatness in you, right? When more responsibility is laid upon you, don't look at it like the glass is half empty, like, oh my gosh, all of this, why? No. Learn how to balance it. Look at it from a higher light. They trust you with this. Because they trust you, they must see something in you. So let's develop that part, right? You can be trusted. Now learn how to balance this and learn how to give it out to everybody else, right? Put a new have a new perception about your life and how it's going. If you feel like you're in bondage, you're only in bondage because you believe it to be so. Only you can change that. Only you can change that, unless you went to jail and you did something foolish to put yourself behind bars. But even there, behind bars, you can be set free. But you have to go within to set yourself free, right? And that's why you see a lot of people, not a lot, some people come out, they are completely reformed when they're put behind bars, because they've been put underground, they've been put in the darkness, and they have to learn how to overcome. How did I get here? How can I surpass this? I got 50 years with no chance of parole. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it out of here alive. Some of them do. They begin to change their life from within first, and literally begin to cleanse not just their mind, but their entire soul and their spirit. And they truly become redeemed. They truly are a new person, even though people can still see the same old guy, right? But there should be attributes that change about you. Like, wait a minute, something is definitely different about you. Yeah, okay, all right. I don't know that I trust you yet, though. I'm still gonna watch you, but something different. I don't know. But I ain't joining you. I'm gonna watch you from afar. You can get that for a while until people know that there was a true authenticity behind you. And that happens, you'll begin to see that. It'll take some time, but it's not just because you say it. Everything around you begins to speak for you and prove that you are this person that you're not even claiming to be, right? You don't have to do that when you become a changed person. Everything else will cry out for you. You don't have to go around telling people put respect on your name and call you apostle. You ain't got to sign it. When you sign your name, we didn't even ask you what your church title. Listen, ma'am, you in here to sign a lease for the apartment. Your apostle, you signing a lease. Aren't you supposed to be establishing churches? Why is you renting from us? Aren't you supposed to be apostle? Okay, apostle. Yo, we gotta go. I'm having so much fun with this today. I love y'all. Listen, it is Friday, August the 25th, day 95 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Another 5-year consecutive day count, it is day 1475, right? We read only chapter 10 in the book of Owaspy. Chapter 10, the book of Fragapati, found in Owaspy today. We didn't even get to the Holy Megillah. We ran out of time. So with that being that, Father, we thank you that in your vastness, we find humility. I love y'all. Y'all get out of here and y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy y'all weekend with y'all family. If you've been overworking yourself, find a way to make your, I ain't gonna say not to work so much, but learn how to work smarter. Enjoy time with your family, because a lot of time we lose sight of what we're really doing, especially when we're building the business. We're building it to support our family, and then we begin to work, doing all this and lose sight of our family, not spending time with our family, things like that. Take a step back, rest when you need to. Include your family on everything. If you're building something for your family, they should be a part of every decision that you make, even building your business. Because when you bring your family along with you, you stay healthy, you stay whole, people don't get in trouble on business trips, things like that. You learn how to grow together, and we're going to perfect this together as a team. We got a family. The Creator entrusted us with a child or with children or with a spouse because it's time for that level of growth for you, right? How do we know it's time? It's happening. We in the thick of it now. Let's go. I love y'all. I will see y'all back here Monday morning, bright and early. Y'all, I missed some of y'all comments. But I love y'all. Said something about a Krabby Patty. Hold on. Lord, I missed a lot of comments. I'm sorry, y'all. But hold on. Let me just scroll real quick. Oh, that's good. Just me. Oh, I ain't laughing at that. I looked at the comment above that. As a truck driver, you roll through many cities and states. I find the ride more enjoyable on an open road. Though many of us can't get away from city living, we should take some time. We should take some moments to try. Oh my gosh, which is why my family loves to vacation now, right? Like, you have to find a way to vacation and get out, like you said, get out of your city. Even if you just go for rides, country rides, once a week, once a month, do something. But the more you have it, the more you realize you can't continue life without it. Like, there is where you rejuvenate, you begin to enjoy nature. Your conversations with the Creator become more alive, right? You can think better. That's your comment. That's what I was laughing at. You was talking about when we was talking about the churches. They teach you to be spiritual retards, jumping around. Praise Jesus. Jesus, like, why is they calling out my name? Don't they know they supposed to be? They people throwing themselves into what you call a mosh pits and all of this stuff. I think I might have said that wrong, but y'all get what I'm talking about. They jumping around saying my name. Like, why? Tell them to stop it. Quit calling me. I ain't coming to take over nobody's will. They need to learn how to drive that car themselves. Take the wheel, Jesus. Now you in the hospital. How you doing? Did you know you're not supposed to drive with your eyes closed? Well, okay. Well, let us show you around, right? Okay. So here in heaven, we have. Bye, y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all back here Monday. Peace.
But I see through you.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, making moves.
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eye.
Been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a coastline.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a coastline.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this peculiar universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I don't need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need growth. I'm a fine line, yeah, I'm a missing link of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth. I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Teach me.
No.
It's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.